Hello everyone and welcome to a tutorial for Minecraft, and I'm today going to be showing how to make spheres in Minecraft. As you can see, I got a whole bunch behind me here and they look super good. Spheres are obviously really hard to make in Minecraft, so I am quite proud of the method for making spheres that I've been able to figure out. I have spent so long looking all over the internet trying to find a good sphere tutorial, and it seems that every single one will work for some of the smaller spheres, but once you get up to the bigger spheres, those methods just stop working. So I have finally found a method that'll work for all sizes of spheres, and I will be going over that today. One of the very first things you should know is I will be putting up a circle chart right now, and you are going to be using this all the time when making spheres. This circle chart is going to become one of your best friends. It's going to be a very useful resource. As you can see, it shows every different radius or diameter of circle, all the way from a diameter of 1 to a diameter of 45. So the reason that these are all odd is because each one has the same amount on either side plus 1 in the middle. So it is very difficult to make a even diameter circle, although I'm sure it's not impossible. But for this tutorial, I will only be making odd diameter spheres because those are much easier to build. I will be having a list of steps in the description just so you can quickly go back and reference that, but I will also be going through every single step in this video today. I will also be building two different spheres with a single size difference, a 15 diameter sphere and a 13 diameter sphere, just because there is a very slight difference on how you're going to complete the final step. But step number 1 is to build the axis, each axis. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring out your diameter in every single direction, the number of, or the size that you want it to be. So for me, I am doing a 15 diameter sphere for this one, so I am going out 7 from each, from the middle, in every direction. Left, right, and then as well as up and down. And then once you have that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's the first step done. Super simple. Now you are going to be referencing the circle chart for the first time. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the circle of the sphere diameter that you have chosen. So for this 15 diameter sphere, I will be choosing the circle with a diameter of 15. And basically, I will just be copying what it shows in the picture onto each direction. So the picture shows 2 up, then 1, and then 2 in, and then 1 in, and then 2, and then 2. So if you relate that to the picture of the 15 diameter sphere, you can see that I am basically just copying what it shows. I am going to do that on all the axes, both the vertical, horizontal, and both directions. So let me cut ahead in the video till I've done that, and I'll show you what I've got. Alright, so here we are back with our sphere that only has each of the circular frames on it. So I've basically taken that 15 diameter circle and I have placed it on every single axis. So the next step we're going to want to do is start expanding the bases. Most tutorials that I found online have suggested that you start by expanding these axes right here out to the number like this. I would not suggest doing that, as it does not work great for large spheres. If you are doing a smaller sphere, which we will go over a little bit later, that may be an option, but I would highly suggest starting with the bases like this. So the way it is going to work is, as you can see, we have a diameter of 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we pull up our circle chart again, as you can see, the circle with the diameter of 5 has two one on either side of the center, and then they connect like so. So what we are going to do is we are going to make this sphere on this circle on each of the bases. So as you can see, this is the circle of 5, and we are going to make that on every single one of the bases. Just for time's sake, I'm not going to do every single base at the moment, but you'll get the idea. It is not a super difficult thing to understand. Last base right here that I'm going to do. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go, if we have our base right here, we're going to go 1 back. Now, as you can see, when we go 1 back, the circle expands by 2. So we are going to go up on the circle chart by 2 from 5 to 9. Now, 5 to 9 is 4, right? But it is 2 circles up. Now, the reason we're going from 5 to 9 instead of 5 to 7 is because you have to remember this circle expands on this side as well. So we're not just accounting for one block expansion, we have to account for 1 on each side. So every block that expands, you're going to go up 1 circle size on the chart. So as you can see, on number 9, the chart goes up by 2, then in by 1, and then across by 2. So up by 2, in by 1, and then across by 2, like so. We're again going to fill up entirely around the entire base. And again, you're going to do this for every single base. However, for time's sake, I am only going to be doing 1 base just to, because making spheres takes so long. So there we go. We have our 9 circle around our 5 circle. Now, we are going to fill this in, and that on all sides as well, on all bases. I, once again, am going to cut ahead into the video to when I have more of these bases complete. So I will be back in just 1 moment. Okay, now as you can see, I have made every base and every base like in by 1. So we have the 5 radius circle and the 9 radius circle. Now, the next step is what is a little tricky. As you can see, I've also made this 13 diameter sphere, and I've expanded the bases by 2 as well. They both have the exact same first 2 bases. First base with a diameter of 5, second base with a diameter of 9. However, as you can see, these 2 bases are connected, while these 2 have a gap in between them. Now, the way this functions is if you add 1 to your diameter and divide by 4, if it divides evenly by 4, you are going to have a gap. So this one has a diameter of 13, plus 1 is 14, divided by 4 is going to be, you're going to have a remainder of 2, so it doesn't divide evenly. So you will will connect. This one has a diameter of 15, If you add 1 and divide by 4, you get 4, so with a remainder of 0, so it will have this gap. Now, the ones without the gap are actually easier. What you're going to want to do is make a very simple pattern like this, and that will to connect all the sides. Just to give a better view of it, basically it's just going to be a staircase in every single direction, like so. Something like this. And you're just going to expand that to be as big as needed for your base. So let's do that one more time. You're going to go out and up by 1, out and up by 1, out and up by 1 to cover up that entire face. And as you can see, once we have all of those other faces finished, that would be our sphere complete. So, not too difficult for those, unless maybe you're doing it upside down. It's a little more difficult. Let's not focus on that. Let's move on, shall we? Alrighty, so the ones with the gaps are very similar. They are not that much more difficult. What you're going to want to do is basically just go up by 1 or 2, depending on the size, and then you're going to do the exact same thing. Out and up by 1, out and up by 1. Make sure you go out by 2, and out and up by 1, out and up by 1, all the way around. As you can see, this one is much bigger than the other one, but it's basically the same concept. Let's do that one more time. You're going to go out by 2 just to connect those 2 edges, up by 2 to connect those 2 edges, and then complete the same pattern of a very simple like checkered board staircase to fill in the entire hole. And then once you've done that on all sides, you've completed a sphere. You've made your sphere. You will have a sphere just like any of these where a sphere made out of cubes. Now, the final thing that I want to go over is some of these smaller cubes. As you can probably tell, or not cubes, not smaller cubes, but smaller spheres. As you can probably tell, the bigger the sphere, the more better looking the sphere will look. The more it will look like a sphere and less blocky. So, some of these, for the smaller ones, you would normally follow the exact same pattern. However, there are a couple cases, specifically for the diameter of 3 and the diameter of 5, where the the method that I just showed you wouldn't necessarily be the best. So, using my method for a diameter of 3 and a diameter of 5, these are the two spheres that you would get. If this is like the type of thing you were looking for, then the method will work perfectly. However, maybe depending on preference or depending on what you're using your spheres for, these two type of spheres may look better. Basically, this one is just the axes, and this one is basically just this one, but we remove each of the corners, like so. So it is up to you which one you want to do, but for 3 and 5, those are your two options. So I hope you have learned a lot from this video. It took me a lot of time to figure this out, so I'm quite happy with the result, and I hope you are too. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you use these in your worlds and that they satisfy whatever you're looking for. And I will see you all later. Thank you. Goodbye.